Well, here's absolute proof that Toyota made a giant mistake building their Tacomas in Mexico. Toyota is now replacing faulty Tacoma transmissions because they're getting all these hydraulic failures. Toyota is finally admitting that they have to replace defective 4th generation Tacoma 8-speed automatic transmission after the owners were screaming and crying and screaming that these things don't work right. And now, these were all made in Mexico. What happened was, people get these Tacomas, they're bucking, they're hesitating, the dealership turned them away, and then they said, oh, well, we'll reprogram them. We'll reprogram. It's a programming problem, right? Well, it wasn't a programming problem. Turns out, these particular Tacomas that are in this TSB were all made in Mexico. They didn't fill them up with enough fluid, right? Now, this harkens back to the entire industry's being a bunch of evil swines taking away the dipstick so you can check the transmission, right? Well, now at the factory, when they're done, they can't check the transmission fluid with a dipstick because it doesn't have one, right? So it turns out that the ones they built in Mexico, they didn't put enough fluid in it. You couldn't tell, right? There's no dipstick. Well, if the transmission is low on fluid, the fluid foams up. Eventually, due to lack of lubrication and foaming fluid, the transmissions start to go bad. Well, Toyota tried to say, well, we'll reprogram them, right? They didn't even have their own mechanics do a check of the fluid level. Obviously, they didn't, because they kept saying, well, we can reprogram. But now it's like, oops, well, now we got to replace them, right? The fluid can be checked. I can check it. Got a fancy computer, right? But you got to go through all these stages, drive it till it's this hot, do that, see the data that's coming off on the computer that shows what's going on with all the sensors that are in the transmission to see whether it's full or not. And of course, in the old days, well, there's a dipstick, whoop, you didn't pull it out, there it is, hey, it's full, look, or it's low, we had a little bit. Well, I don't care what they can say about, oh, yeah, we've got good factories in Mexico. No, you don't. These workers didn't even fill the fluid in the transmissions correctly. Of course, Toyota's trying to, oh, no, it's not a Mexican problem. It is a Mexican problem. You're building them down there. You got cheaper labor, and they're doing a lousy job, right? You never used to see problems with Toyota Tacomas. They used to be really bulletproof vehicles. Well, even Toyota obviously sees the handwriting on the wall. If you remember, I did a video a few weeks ago. Toyota says that they're going to bring back Tacoma production for the United States to San Antonio, where they used to make them, but they have to pay people more in San Antonio than they do down in Mexico, right? It's absolutely disgusting, right? Of course, Toyota's not even mentioned, oh, it's a Mexican problem. No. They weren't filled. Well, why weren't they filled? Because the Mexicans didn't fill them, right? I mean, come on now. It's common sense. It's basically unbelievable that they can't even fill the transmissions with fluid. A very simple thing. But there's no dipstick, so, hey, how do you know, right? I mean, when you first build them, they're empty, right? So they're empty. That's all you got to do. There's a certain amount of fluid. Put it in, right? It's not rocket science, but obviously they couldn't even do that in Mexico. And since the Toyota dealers didn't even figure it out, I mean, I had a customer, took us in, said it's not working. And they get a repair order that says, cannot replicate customer concern, right? And then these people give them the truck back, doesn't work right. Then they find out, oops, we didn't fill them up with fluid. You would have thought that some mechanic at one of these Toyota dealerships would have got out his fancy scan tool. That's the first thing I would have done and said, let's see something. Are these things full of fluid? And he goes, oops, they're not full of fluid. Now all these ones are coming in. You find out they're all not full of fluid. And of course, it's going to destroy the transmission over time. So you get aeration, bubbling up because there's not enough fluid. There's too much air. And this shows how filthy the dealerships are. Their flat rate warranty, how they pay the mechanics on a warranty, they don't pay them much, right? That kept the mechanics from doing very intensive thermal fluid level checks. Takes a lot of time. Like I said, you got to use a computer to do a lot of stuff. a money loser for the dealership, so they just didn't do it. You know, they had a problem. They could have figured it out, but they didn't want to spend the time because it's warranty work, and they don't make money on warranty work. So this is a dual problem with Toyota. One, they're making them in Mexico where they didn't even fill them up with fluid. Big mistake, right? Two, they don't pay the guys doing warranty work at the dealership hardly anything. Some of them pay nothing. They say, well, this is warranty work. That's part of your job. I've had friends who were mechanics at dealerships, and they were told, this is warranty work. This is part of your job. You don't get paid for that. That's part of your job as a mechanic at our dealership, right? So what we have is greed at the dealership, greed at Toyota building them in Mexico where the labor's cheaper, and then you buy something that used to be ultra dependable, Tacoma pickup truck, and the transmission goes out because the workers in Mexico didn't put enough fluid in it when they built them. You can't make this stuff up. Well, here's one you gotta hear to believe. It's a real story happening in Memphis, Tennessee. One of the workers at a Mercedes-Benz dealer took out a Mercedes-Benz that was being worked on and went out to bars. Well, this is how stupid that guy was. Doesn't he realize that people have GPS trackers, cameras, and stuff? Well, the owner of this Mercedes saw, hey, it's sitting at this bar for hours. What's my car doing there? They're supposed to be working on it, right? Well, a Mercedes dealership in Memphis and one of its technicians has been ordered to pay more than $20,000 when the owner of the car tracked it down to 2 different drinking establishments instead of the service bay. Now, of course, the Mercedes-Benz dealer has lawyers, and they said, well, it's an extended test drive. Yeah, oh, extended test drive. Take it to the bar, have a few drinks, right? On top of that, you know they were drinking at the bar. They went to a bar. They didn't go there, to drink water, right? They went there to drink. And then they're driving the person's car. They were probably legally intoxicated to top it all off. And they said, well, you can't do this. And the judge says, you can't drive this person's Mercedes around and go to a bar. You and the dealership owe $20,000 now. It all started because Kimberly brought her Mercedes C300 to the Mercedes-Benz of Collierville because it wasn't running right. And on the evening of January 16th, this is the evening, right, not in the middle of the workday, she got GPS notification showing that her car left the dealership. First it went to Jay Alexander's bar, then it went to a TJ Mulligan's bar. So she said, oh, I want to see what's going on. So she drove to the TJ Mulligan's and found her Mercedes sitting in the parking lot. And they discovered that dealership technician, Derek Wynn, was inside the bar. And they arrested him on a theft charge, saying he stole her car. And the court records say that Wynn appeared to be intoxicated when he was taken into custody. Right, he's drinking. And it's an extended road test. We're going to see how this car drives when someone drunk is driving it, right? I mean, this is insane. Now, the attorneys for Mercedes-Benz and Wynn said he had permission to take the vehicle on an extended test drive, but the judge threw that out and said, no, that's not going to cut the mustard. So the court awarded the woman a total of $20,270, including $15,000 in punitive damages, describing the defendant's conduct as extreme and outrageous. Now, they couldn't give him any more because it capped the damage at that particular court. Right? And here we go, They just think they can do what they want, let the guy drive the car out, drinking at a bar, and then the woman comes up, hey, there's my car. What's it doing here? And Mr. Wynn was behind bars for a while, and he's still facing a criminal theft charge because it was after working hours, right? This is an extended test drive. You can't make this stuff up. It is unbelievable, the nonsense that people try pulling these days. Well, here's bad news for anybody thinking about buying a car. COVID-era price gouging is coming back, right? You remember how they fleeced people during COVID? They'd raise and they'd add extra charges to the cars, saying, well, we don't have enough cars, so we'll charge more money for them. Too bad. Well, it's coming back. Back in March, turns out that more than 25% of buyers had negative equity. And now, second quarter of 2026, it's over 30%. So it's going to basically happen to these people is, if they do get a loan for a second car, they're more or less paying for 2 loans at the same time. But they're only benefiting the new car they just bought because the other car they traded in. They owed more money than it was worth, but they still had to trade the thing in, right? They had to get some value out of it. Now, if you have negative equity, the average negative equity has a payment of $944 a month, which is $167 a month more than the average buyer who doesn't have negative equity. Now, it's bad enough that the average new car payment in America is $777 per month, but if you got negative equity, it goes up to $944 a month, almost $1,000 a month. Now, a lot of times, it used to be that the people with negative equity were people who bought stupid things like Jaguars, Land Rovers that depreciate so fast that you're negative equity because the value of the car keeps going like a stone. This is just people who buy regular things. Toyota Tundras, F-150s, Honda CR-Vs, they hold their values, but with the higher sticker prices that were in COVID, the dealer markups, and credit that gets more and more expensive as interest rates go up, people get into serious trouble. It turns out that the average buyer who's underwater in a trade-in is nearly $7,000 under. They owe $7,000 more than the vehicle is worth. And over the course of this loan, they paid $6,500 more than the average buyer in interest alone. That doesn't even include the depreciation. So when you add that up, that's 60% more than the average buyer does. Also, you can go out and get another car. So, hey, sad news for people. This is what I tell you. Use your head when you're buying something. Don't use your eyes. Don't be like the little kid. He's got the big eyes and he sees he's got to get that, he's got to get that, right? Do a little research. And above all, don't be stupid and buy a new vehicle every 3, 4, 5 years. You're going to get taken to the cleaners. Right? They tell you, oh, this is great resale. Wait till you go to trade it in, right? Not only do you have negative equity, but they're going to give you as little as possible for the vehicle. Because they know you got negative equity, you probably have bad credit, and you're paying more at higher interest rates, and they'll just take advantage of you to fleece you. That's what car dealerships do. They're very good at fleecing people. The other day, guy brought me a Kia Soul, and they had paid 35 G's for this car. I'm like, how could anybody pay 35 G's for a Kia Soul? But they did. Because they just got taken advantage of by people. They're young, they didn't understand how the system works. Learn how it works and learn how your brain works. Don't buy things that you don't need. Your car's working fine. Hey, watch my videos, take care of it. Don't waste your money on something new that's going to put you even deeper in a hole. Well, that's it for today's breaking news. And remember, you can only see breaking news on the Scotty Kilmer channel on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that stuff. And I will continue to give you the car news that other people want to hide away so you can see what's happening in the world of cars so you'll be well armed to take care of yourself and not getting taken advantage of.